The Arizona Cardinals, less than a week from the NFL trade deadline. Are they going to make any deals? And we hear from the Cards franchise quarterback, Johnny.
Yeah, the Arizona Cardinals need to make a move. And are they going to move off Drew Petzing? What's going on? PHNX Cardinals starts now. Hey, live from Studio K, presented by our friends at Circle K. It's the PHNX Cardinals podcast, your premier Arizona Cardinal podcast. Like and subscribe. Leave us a 5-star wherever you get your programming. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Presenting sponsor today, our friends at Bet365. Download the Bet365 app. Use the bonus code PHNX365 when you sign up. Choose your offer. Find out why. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary with our friends at Bet365. These are my friends, Brack in Studio K. Of course, Damon, Dawg behind the mic. We're going to talk about all the deadline deals potentially for Monty Austinford to pursue. But how about a deal at GoPHNX.com right now? Become a diehard for just $4 a month. You get a free piece of merch from the merchandise locker. Right now, official membership, limited intro offer, $48 a month. What does that equate to, Bo? $4 a month.
Less than a Happy Meal. You can get great content, including stuff from our guy, Craig Morgan, who's out there churning out all the great insight on the Arizona Cardinals as they try to get their offense back on track. We take a look and hear from a franchise quarterback, some insight into his celebration in the end zone after his big 44-yard TD run there on Monday Night Football. What's going on behind as far as the celebrations go, the sellies for the Cards. Check out the diehard membership, get the card, get the t-shirt. Basically, it's paid for itself and pays for the bulk of the membership. It's elite. Unreal what's going on over at GoPHNX.com.
Big thanks to Red Sea. Yesterday's Super Chat, $2 just became a diehard. Welcome, Red Sea. We had our interview with Mina Kimes. That flowed in, as well as Slime Sherlock, $2. Kyler has to lead his wide receivers better, especially on those middle passes. So we're going to talk about K1. We heard from K1, did you, Bo, at the Greater Tempe facility today. We're going to talk about Drew Petzing, but I think we got to start where everybody is abuzz, the trade deadline quickly approaching, and it's teams in the Arizona Cardinals' own division that are the topic of conversation. The Seattle Seahawks, Bo, have made their second acquisition in as many weeks, adding yet another piece to their defense. They added a linebacker. They shipped out a fourth and a linebacker of their own. They added a defensive lineman a couple weeks ago. Yeah. The Seahawks sit at 4-3. The Cardinals, of course, in second place at 3-4. And everybody's looking around. They're looking at one person. Hey, Monty Austinford, are you going to wake up? You lose Dennis Gardeck for the season, which, you know, he had his critics, mainly me, of how effective he could be. But he led the Cardinals in sacks. We wish him well. No B.J. Ojulari. We don't have a firm, definitive update on somebody like Darius Robinson. Yeah. There are players to be had. The question is for you atop this show, everybody drop a like. Will the Cardinals make a move?
Yeah, it's a huge question. I mean, it's a question like at this point last year, this was a team that was not really in the market to make a move otherwise, like either way. So now, as they sit at 3-4 and knocking on the door of first place potentially with the three other division mates, losing this weekend, tough matchups across the board. You know, you're going to be right there in a place to contend, maybe ahead of schedule. But you know, you look at some serious flaws and voids that they have to fill if they want to make that happen. I mean, we talked, as you mentioned, we talked to Mina Kimes yesterday. Mina was like, okay, well, a couple of things have to go right for this Cardinals team. They have to have their offense get back on track. Kyler Murray, Marvin Harrison Jr., Drew Petzing on that side of the football need to step up. And then also got to look at this pass rush, whether it's the interior of the defensive line that's just been ravaged by injuries, or, of course, the area that they did not address this offseason, pretty much ran with the status quo, and they've even taken a step back with the injuries to B.J. Ojulari and Dennis Gardeck. where does Monty turn? Because internally, you're out of options. Now, do you turn to your assets, your 2025, 2026 draft picks that you now have, the full roster of from 1 to 7 in rounds? Like, can you maybe turn a day 3 pick into somebody that can contribute to this team? Because we're seeing it all around the league. Like, we're seeing bigger name players go for late day 2, early day 3, or even later than that. And I think that that's worthy of it right now. It's not like a full, breathing in confidence in your organization and say, hey, this is a win now move, but you need something just to be able to stay competitive and put yourself and give yourself a fighting chance.
I just kind of scoff at the people that are like, well, that doesn't fit their timeline. I've been watching this team my entire adult life. Like, what's the Cardinals franchise timeline? Because they're in a division with 2 Hall of Fame coaches. They just had one exit in Pete Carroll. And the timeline has mostly been, we're going to finish last. We're going to finish third. We're not going to win the NFC West. They haven't won a division since 2015. I don't think, and again, like, it's not apples to oranges. This isn't the juggernaut that the NFC West used to be. But I tweeted this out today. I think it would be horrendous judgment by the Arizona Cardinals, and specifically Monty Ossenford, if he did not opt to look around, take the pulse of the room, and say, well, the LA Rams and the 49ers, 2 teams we beat, are eroding, right? Now, I think the Niners at some point are going to be viable again, but can you build a lead on them? And by the way, I'm not taking Seattle seriously. Their coach hasn't proved anything. Geno Smith, I think he's an average quarterback, right? I think defensively, clearly they have some lapses, so they're adding pieces. DK Metcalf's banged up. Kenneth Walker's been banged up. Like, that's a team that the Cardinals should at very worst split with. The path,
look, the guy they acquired today, the Rams basically gave up on. Like, he went and kind of had a bit of a resurgence in Jones, like after the Rams, after preseason, were like, you know what? We want to move off of them. I believe they're going to outright release them. And then, bad franchise, and the Titans came knocking, and now they're, a dead carcass in the AFC South, and people are picking it clean right now. So you see the DeAndre Hopkins gets traded this morning, and then the Seahawks go and take a flyer on an off-ball linebacker.
And why are they doing that? They've made 2 trades in
right
what, since
and
October?
I don't think
they're doing that
like,
to win the NFC West,
right? And when you talk about the timeline, like, day 3 picks, like, very rare. Like, if you hit on one, it's a good, like, that's a good batting average in the draft.
I'm glad you brought that up, because the people that are pearl clutching on 2025 day 3 picks in exchange for an attempt to enthuse this fan base and specifically reward this defense that is overachieved.
In the locker room, the way it can galvanize a locker room, a move, it says, hey, we're staying in this fight. And we're adding, we're not subtracting. And that would be big as far as the locker room goes. And and I think we're going to get to some trade candidates here, some targets for the Arizona Cardinals. And you'll see a similar theme. Like, we're not going out there, we're not saying, hey, go out there and get Max Crosby, go out there and get Myles Garrett, because we know that the price tag for that is unrealistic for the Arizona Cardinals. So
that doesn't fit their timeline.
Right, exactly. You're not going to trade the farm. You're not going to trade considerable draft capital to get into that sandbox. But what you are going to do is, hey, here's a 6th round pick, keep the change, and just tuck it into, the Cleveland Browns front pocket.
I don't buy the people that are saying we're only 3-4. You shouldn't be buyers. You can't have your cake and eat it too, talking out of both sides of your mouth, where applaud the Cardinals for being 3-4. They had the hardest schedule, but they're 3-4. So we can't take them seriously. You can't be buyers here. I mean, their schedule lightens up considerably. Like, even this weekend, it's a 3-point spread with our friends at Bet365. It's a winnable game. It's a winnable game against Chicago. It's a winnable game against the Jets, the Vikings, right? Like, for the most part, the rest of this year, there's not a game where you're like, man, that's going to be really tough for them. Like, you get the Niners at home. The Rams could be done. Think about what the LA Rams are doing. They came into this season with postseason odds and aspirations, right? What's happened? Well, their team's falling apart. They got old quickly. The young players on defense haven't ascended to their liking, minus Jared Verse. So what are the Rams doing? The Rams are saying, Cooper Kupp's available. Our veterans are available. We're selling pieces off. Tennessee did the same thing. So you're allowed to reevaluate and become sellers if you underachieve. The Titans built in the offseason like they were going to compete for the postseason. That has ended 6 months into the season, and give them credit now for realizing that. Like prayers up for Ron Carthon. Yeah, a little bit of credit. So why can't the Cardinals do the same thing? We're a game out of first place in the NFC West.
Right.
Do you expect that after 7 weeks? I don't care how it looks. You win this division, you host a playoff game. You're telling me that wouldn't mean something for the economic climate here in Arizona, for the people that really have waited and waited for years and years for this team to be viable, host a home playoff game, and you're going to scoff at, you know what, I got to save this 5th round pick who may or may not be the next Clayton Tune, who may or may not be the next John Gaines. That's really, I got to have all the Keitrell Clarks I can, respectfully to those players. I don't want to hear about that.
Well, look, I mean, to look at this defensive front seven, and this is a way throwback reference, it's the Black Knight from Monty Python. Like this front seven, they're getting their arm cut off, their legs cut off. Yeah, it's merely a flesh wound. It's like, look, there's no more internal options. Like you can only take so much Julian Okworo, like guys who have been like as far as healthy scratches on Sunday, even with the current pass rush and Victor Dumakaji and Xavier Thomas, like the idea that they can come to the rescue and you could find sustainable, like consistent success or just get that pressure when you haven't done it already, like you're backed into a corner and you've done enough win-losses wise. And the division has done something that I don't think people expected as far as you say, eroding for the most part. And the most stout roster in the NFL has fallen apart piece by piece. And now you're right there and it's within striking distance. Do yourself a favor and just like it's a 5th, 6th, 7th round pick. Don't put those on pedestals, especially when the opportunity is in front of you to take it to the wire potentially. Like I'm not saying like, hey, you're going to win the NFC West, but you got to give yourself a shot when the opportunity presents itself. It's not going to sink or torpedo your rebuild. It's just not.
The same people that are frauding it up online this week right now saying don't trade those picks. You and I and Damon do live shows for the draft, right? We're on air for like 9 hours. Are those people watching day 3 of the draft, friends? Have you ever watched day 3 of the draft on a Saturday? No, you're out with your kids. You're living your life. You may check your phone. We live that every year. I have seen those picks and what they turn into. You're telling me you can't go out. We're going to get to the names right around the corner here. I'm going to tease that here on.
Come on, T-Palms, who's been on the practice squad.
Oh, my goodness. All the championship players this team has drafted. And listen, that doesn't mean I'm not throwing shade that somebody can't turn into a Dante Stills, right? The Cardinals go out and make some moves in the offseason, get some more picks. We know Monty Ossenford wants to trade down, but my goodness, you would think that these 5th round picks and these day 3 picks are feeding families for these people online. I'm like, get help immediately. I cannot take that seriously. You're telling me we get 17 of these games. We live and die with this team every single football Sunday, but you're talking about, hey man, that kid from Appalachian State, we really got to consider him off-ball linebacker at pick 187. I don't know if that's worth it to really infuse this fan base to get a proven player at the deadline. Good. What are we doing? It's not like Kimes trading first rounders for Hollywood Brown. That's over. And I think, fair or not, there's too much PTSD with this fan base from Kime, and I get that. But if you're Monty Ossenford, this is one time where I hope you're not responding and reading the room online. Go into your own locker room and look at the detriment right now with this defensive talent that's been either not acquired in the offseason, which that's your fault, or been put on IR. Okay, I have to do something. Your coach, Jonathan Gannon and Nick Ross, coached their butts off defensively on Monday night. Don't you want to reward them with some players?
I'm looking at it, John Gaines, Clayton Tune, Owen Pappo, Keitrell Clark, Dante Stills, and then you've got from this year, Dadrian Taylor Demerson, Rabbit. You got Xavier Thomas, Christian Jones, Tajon Palmer, Jaden Davis. One player is consistently getting snaps out of all those players as day 3 picks. There's guys we're excited about in Rabbit. There's guys that we feel like can have a future role on this team, and Owen Pappo, and maybe Xavier Thomas, maybe Christian Jones, who was activated today officially after his practice window opened a couple weeks ago. But there's nobody that you're like, I can hang my hat on that guy is going to go out there and play significant snaps and make an impact. So that's the sandbox you're playing in when you're looking at these day 3 picks. Like, 1 out of, what did I just list off there? About 8 is hitting. And that's probably right around the percentage around the league.
You want names, we're going to give them to you right around the corner on PHNX Cardinals. Drop a like on this video, like our friends at Desert Financial Credit Union, the official credit union of the Arizona Cardinals, PHNX Sports, and your boy, Johnny Venerable, the Venerable household. That's because for more than 84 years, Desert Financial has been Arizona's largest, most trusted local credit union, dedicating to creating exceptional experiences by giving back to the community and providing financial solutions that make life better. They've got financial experts who are committed to their members and their community, offering financial solutions tailored to helping real-life people like me, like you, whomever in your life. Check it out. Check them out. They've got checking accounts, savings accounts, mortgages, loans, credit cards, investment options, and more. Plus, if you're an Arizona sports fan, no better place to do your banking, right? How about this? Rep the Red Sea with the Arizona Cardinal Visa debit card. I've got it right now in my wallet. I'd show it to you, but I can't. Show your team spirit right now. Open up a free checking account online. Get an Arizona Cardinal Visa debit card. Go to desertfinancial.com/CardinalsBow to get started. Checking account just takes a matter of minutes to get started. Debit cards in the mail just a couple days after the fact. I cannot tell you how big a fan I am, how big a fan we are of our new partners, desertfinancial.com/Cardinals to get started.
Yeah, you don't mess around with your money. You don't mess around with your flooring. We love our friends over at Empire Today who are going to get you set up right. And you're going to save immediately $350 on new flooring, carpeting, hardwood, whatever it might be. And you can shop with Empire Today with the convenience that you're looking for and the right product. That's key. And they'll have that price match guarantee ready to go anytime you think you found a better price, probably on poorer quality products that you don't want to have any business being a part of your flooring as far as whatever your dwelling is, your home, your condo, your apartment. Check out Empire Today right now. Start your journey with the experts over there in flooring. It's not somebody who is just working down the street at the Blockbuster that closed down. They know, and they know exactly what they're talking about as far as flooring goes. Check them out right now, empiretoday.com/PHNX. That's empiretoday.com/PHNX for $350 off new floors.
I'm still holding them onto my stock at Blockbuster. Like they could make a comeback. All right. Hit that like button. The goal on a football Wednesday, 500 likes. Your boy's en route to Miami in just 2 days' time. Could Monty Ossenfort swing a trade before then? Let's take a look. We rounded up some maybe usual and unusual suspects, realists. That's what we are on the show. We're keeping it real. Here is our list right now. Monty Ossenfort, edge rushers. Give him a call. Damon, Dawg, let's see it. Jadeveon Clowney, Carolina. Would it fit the Cardinals locker room? I don't really care at this point. He's being wasted in Carolina. Harold Landry, 28-year-old, probably the best player on this list in terms of his resume. You see him there, number 58, would probably cost, I would think, at least a 4th-round pick. Again, he's missed time with a torn ACL, but he is a consistent player out of Boston College. Azeez Ojulari, look familiar? The brother, is it the brother or the cousin?
Brother
of Arizona Cardinal B.J. Ojulari, coincidentally enough. And once Kayvon Thibodeau comes back, doesn't really have a full-time role with the Giants. Zadarius Smith, at 33 years old, been around the NFL for a long time. Of course, the Cardinals already having done deals with Cleveland in the past, most notably Joshua Dobbs. And then Josh Uche of New England, somebody Ossenfort knows. The production has not been there this year, but he has been playing. He has been starting. Listen, you're not going to get a one-size-fits-all fix here, but all 5 of these individuals, I would say, would be an upgrade over anybody the Cardinals have off the edge, Bo.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And I mean, if you're starting to rank these, I would probably, for my taste, I'm taking Jadeveon Clowney off the board here. I just don't see any value in bringing him in. I don't know if it necessarily brings much to their pass rush. I know he's good in the run defense. He's got, $6 million in dead money owed to him beyond this year, or you're paying him $14 million in
9.5 sacks last year. You think that was a product of Baltimore?
Yeah, probably. One of the best defenses in the league, no doubt about it. I mean, the two that are intriguing to me are Ojulari in Landry. Now, Landry, a guy who's had back-to-back double-digit sack seasons, he's got about $50 million in cap charges coming up to him in the next 2 seasons. So, I mean, I know he's around the right age at 28, coming from Tennessee, but you know, that's a pretty penny that you're going to be paying for a guy that is like, does he have that much upside as far as what you're looking for? But I know you're not in a position where you can be, picky here. Like to me, Azeez Ojulari is the slam dunk option here from the New York Giants. Like,
you think so?
I do. I mean, they've got a surplus there. Obviously, Thibodeau and Brian Burns. You know, I think that there'd be familiarity in the Ojulari brother that's been able to, you know, stay healthy this season, and I think there would be obviously interest from him joining, his bro here in the desert, free agent this offseason though, so you'd have to lock him in beyond this year. But 15 pressures, 5 sacks. I mean, when I look at all of these guys, I think he's been the most productive as far as making noise, getting to opposing quarterbacks out of this group.
I would take any of these players. Let me preface this by saying
you're gross.
Any of these,
you're desperate.
Yeah, well, I've been desperate since when? July. So you're checking in, and they've
you've been pounding the table for far worse. That's for sure. Carl Lawson.
Right. This is the slum show where we literally comb through practice squads. So Yannick Ngakoue, by the way, was available, and he's having a nice start to his season with Baltimore.
Yannick Ngakoue grew up in Maryland, went to Maryland, re-signed with Baltimore.
Okay, Monty. That's Monty Ossenford, Damon. I didn't even know he's joining the show today. Hey, welcome, Monty. Here's
Hair
what
looks great. Hair looks great, Monty.
Azeez Ojulari, if he's a Cardinal tomorrow, boom, we're excited. And again, is he a byproduct? Because the production really hasn't been there minus this year outside of his rookie season. Is he a byproduct of rushing opposite a stud in Brian Burns? Is he a byproduct of being next to Dexter Lawrence? Or is he just having a good year? Like, I'm willing to take that risk, assuming it's for a day 3 pick. Harold Landry is putting up big-time sack numbers consistently when he's healthy, and it doesn't matter who else is on that defense. That Tennessee defense has actually been playing pretty well. And for both these players, I think the biggest coup is, how often do these teams play with the lead? Probably never. Will Levis and Daniel Jones? Good hell. I mean, it's a terrible combination. So, again, I think for Harold Landry at 28 years old, I mean, you're probably looking at giving up. They're going to ask for a 3rd-round pick. I think I would offer a 4th-round pick and maybe a player, or maybe two picks on day 3 each of the next 2 years. But like, I here's where you lost me with the Harold Landry talk. Harold Landry's under contract for the next 3 years. Why are we looking at that as a bad thing? Have you seen the Cardinals' depth, pass rush depth after this year?
It's a cap charge of $25 and $25 million.
Welcome to the NFL. Welcome to the NFL, where you have to pay these kind of guys. Oh, I'm sorry. Excuse me, Harold. Oh, you get double-digit sacks? Yeah, we need to pay you accordingly. No. Okay, we'll pay a guy who gets 3 sacks a year in Zaven Collins, and we'll nickel and dime him. It's funny how that works. Harold Landry's 28 years old, and he's signed for the next 3 seasons, including this year, and consistently outside of his torn ACL year, he gets you double-digit sacks. Like, everybody was complaining about Hassan Reddick. Well, Hassan was a little older. Harold's younger, right? Harold has familiarity with your general manager, Monty Ossenford. I see no downside to that. I don't know if he's truly available, though.
Yeah. I mean, the Titans, their defense hasn't been that bad. I think guys like Jeffrey Simmons and Harold Landry, sure, even with organizational, team building malpractice, ongoing there, they should be smart enough to say, hey, inquire about everybody but these 2 guys. Like, there's a premium position, and then there's a game wrecker in the interior of the defensive line and Simmons that we're not really taking calls on unless you want to blow us away. And I don't think Monty Ossenford is like, that's where I think Landry, like, you approach that, it's like, that's where you get out of the Harold Landry business, right? It's like when you start getting into day 2 picks, and you're going to be on the hook for the money, and you're going to be giving up draft capital for a guy that's going to be 29 next year.
Can I just say, Cardinals are going to have on the right now, and this came from Tyler Webb at Sports Business, they're going to have the 4th most cap space next offseason. And that's great. Like, I'm excited about that. Just behind New England, who's terrible, the Raiders, who's terrible, and the Commanders, who gutted their team. They have a rookie quarterback. So, like, even with the Cardinals paying Kyler Murray what they're paying him, that shows you, Bo, that they have a huge need outside of quarterback to be able to supplement on their roster. $25 million for a guy who consistently rushes the passer. the Cardinals are paying, respectfully, 2 safeties this year over $30 million combined. They have no pass rush. B.J. Ojulari, I love him to death, is not a viable option. Zaven Collins, we've seen now, should be a complementary piece. He can stop the run. He's not a help on third down when you got to have it to, put a move on a tackle and get after Jordan Love or get after Brock Purdy, right? Cardinals don't have that player. So, I think adding somebody the caliber of a Harold Landry or, Aziz, and then you re-sign him, and then you go and you add somebody in the draft, that's got to be the play. You got to flush this position unit. And why not, if you're Monty Ossenford, and this was my biggest argument for acquiring Reddick and paying Reddick, get yourself a head start on free agency so it doesn't unravel on you like this year. So you're not put in a position, fair or not, where you're signing mid-tier guys. If you're worried about your recruitment, I don't think it's a bad thing then to acquire a guy that's under contract. You think Harold Landry would care about leaving Tennessee, coming to Arizona? I'm getting paid. I'm going to produce. I just remove yourself from having to go court somebody like a Christian Wilkins for $100+ million.
Yeah. So I'll rank mine real quick.
Okay. Let's see that list one more time, Damon.
Ranking nobody asked for, but I'm going to offer it up unsolicited. I'm going to go with Ojulari. We didn't talk too much about Za'Darius, who's the oldest of this group, 32. Yeah. Last double-digit sack season was 2022. He's going to have, you have the option of keeping him on the team through next season. About almost a $9.5 million cap charge. I honestly think I would probably go Ojulari, Za'Darius, very affordable $9.5 million cap charge, and then look at a Landry, which is more of a significant investment, Uche, and then Clowney.
I think Landry is what Montez Sweat was for the Chicago Bears last year.
Come on.
Well, hang on a second. Montez Sweat, I know he was a higher draft pick. Montez Sweat, let me pull up the stats here.
Montez Sweat is a way better athlete than.
Okay.
He's longer, he's more athletic.
Okay. How many double-digit sack seasons does Montez Sweat have, Bo?
I don't know. 1?
0. Harold Landry.
Yeah, but he swats balls down all the time. He's disruptive.
Harold Landry is on pace for his 3rd straight double-digit sack season. This is not a scrub. If the Cardinals came out tomorrow and they said, we have traded a 3rd-round pick to the Tennessee Titans for Harold Landry, a guy who is a stud pass rusher, we would all say,
Super Bowl.
Let's go. No, but hey, thanks for trying to compete. Thanks for competing. Said the Cardinals, and here, I'm going to tell everybody right now, fair or not, everyone wants to pearl clutch their picks. What did Monty Austin do with 4 third-round picks this year?
I knew you were going to say this.
How are those looking right now? Oh, that was just making a huge impact each and every football Sunday. I don't want this double-digit pass rusher. I got a blocking tight end. I've got a number 2 running back. Oh, look at this corner who's not even playing. Oh, how about this guard who plays half the time? And I like those players. They're going to be fine long-term. But you just had 4 first-round picks. You had 2 the year before. You've had 6 third-round picks. How many do you need? Go get a player. Sick of this.
Sick of it.
Try to win a division for this fan base.
I would feel. I put Landry in my top 3, so don't take that as. I know you're stopping. You're holding the line for Harry.
All right,
that's what you're doing.
Let me give you my list. Let's see it, Damon Dawg. Number 1, again, I would take any of these players. Damon, can we see the graphic one more time? Apologies. Sorry for yelling. Harold's number 1. Azeez Ojulari is number 2. Za'Darius Smith is number 3. Uche and Clowney are tied for 4. I don't care. I'd flip a coin. But again, beggars can't be choosers. All 5 of these players are better than anything the Cardinals have. So I don't have an issue with that. But I think Clowney will probably go to a different team. I definitely think he's getting traded. Carolina, there's no point in keeping him around.
Yeah.
But with Cleveland, Tennessee, and New England, you have ties to all those teams. The Cardinals haven't done a deal with the Giants yet. So keep that.
I think I might switch Uche down. I think I might put him the last. I could very well see into the future if they acquire Josh Uche and you'd be like, where the hell's the production from this guy?
Me?
Any of us. I just think that he's been so inconsistent. I mean, he signed for 1 year, $3 million this offseason.
He had 11.5 sacks 2 years ago. That's not
a while ago. 2022. But since then, he's what, 1, 3?
I would take it unequivocally over anything the Cardinals have had, and I would take it over.
I think Clowney would at least produce in the run game, like to where like, okay, he's not getting the big sacks, but he's slowing down the run.
What's Josh Uche's PFF grade right now? Let me look it up in real time for the folks at home.
It's great.
Because I have a subscription. I mean, it's not too bad. His pass rush grade's a 72 this year.
Yeah. What's his run grade?
64. Now, somehow his overall grade's 55. That must be his coverage rank must be awful. But again,
and like Za'Darius was, I think, the most impressive as far as the coverage and what they ask. And that's important. That's as far as what
you're not worried about getting a 33-year-old who is a lot of mileage on him.
Yeah. But like, these are flawed play. Like, this is, like we said before, these aren't like the perfect pass rushers.
I like the idea getting a guy who's young that is not just a rental. I think that's a good move for this team.
Azeez Ojulari is 24 years old.
Well, he's a free agent though.
His brother lives here.
Oh, I don't care about that. My sister lives in Iowa. I love my sister. I'm not moving to Iowa. All right, let's talk. We got more good stuff.
You guys are the same.
We got more
Venerable brother-sister combo is the same as the football playing Ojularis. Keep holding the line for Harry, okay?
Yeah, we're Harry boys here on PHNX Cardinals. We got more talk, including Drew Petzing, right around the corner. But first, I want to tell you something else I love in my life. How about our friends at Circle K? I'm telling you right now, America's thirst stop. It got back up into the 90s this week. Not a fan of that in late October, but I am a fan of their deals on deals, including the Polar Pop or Froster for just 79 cents. That was like a summer deal. And I'm like, oh no, is it going to go away? And then Circle K is like, Johnny, we got you, buddy. We're going to make it indefinite right now. But you got to sign up with the Inner Circle, the free new membership program. So easy. Download the app. Save 25 cents per gallon on your first 5 fill-ups. Save 3 cents per gallon every single day. And again, it's not just the Polar Pops and Frosters. It's not just the gas deal. They got deals on deals. All you got to do, go down and look at the deals and the discounts. You will be befuddled by all the money that you're going to save right now with our friends at Circle K via the Inner Circle. Right now, join for free. Download the Circle K app today. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit CircleK.com for more details, Bo.
It's unbelievable, but also what's unbelievable is our friends over at Game Time. Woo! Game Time is going to get you set up. NBA tipped last night. Did you see that? Father-son, Bronny. Do you want to see Bronny live and in person?
Somebody compared Marv to Bronny, and I had to log off the internet.
Yeah, that's probably a good time to just take a couple beats to yourself. 10/28. That's what's going on. October 28th, the day we return from Miami. Lakers at Suns, Footprint Center. Get in the door, $62. Game Time. You can wait out. You can wait it out and wait for those prices to go down with Game Time because it's going to offer the lowest price guaranteed last-minute deals. That's what I like to do on the Game Time app. How about you check out the Cardinals slate coming up? Bears, Jets, Seahawks. Any of those games tickle your fancy? Well, get on the Game Time app today. Download it for free. Make an account. Create it. Use the code PHNX. You'll get $20 off your first order with our friends over at Game Time. It's unbelievable what's going on, and it's just not sporting events. It's also parking passes that you can do. They got music shows coming in. Usher, I mean, the guy's doing the Super Bowl. How about go check out Usher or some of the other, acts that are going to be coming to town.
Sabrina Carpenter, hello.
Oh, boy, a little espresso there for Johnny and who goes to the show with him. How about save some money, $20, Game Time, PHNX. What time is it? Game Time.
It's Game Time, baby. We love our partners. We love all of you. Again, drop us a like. Let's get this to 500 likes here on a football Wednesday. I keep waiting to see a notification. Maybe you get a text from a source on your boy's cell phone, like Cardinals are making a move. Let's go. We're in it on 2024 because defensively, I feel like, is that the new identity for this team right now? Because it sure as heck isn't the offense, because every time an Arizona Cardinal offensive player or coach takes the podium, it's just like, why are you sucking? Why is this so bad? Why can't you throw the football? And Bo, you were right in the thick of it again today in Phoenix.
That's right. We heard from Gannon less than 24 hours, from hearing him post Monday Night Football victory on Victory Tuesday. Yesterday, go to battle for his OC and Drew Petzing, saying that he didn't mind. He actually agreed with the calls on 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1 that turned into a turnover on downs, and Clayton Tune not being able to get that 1 yard. And then our guy Craig Morgan got some great audio and video from Drew Petzing himself. Then we heard from Kyler Murray, weighing in as far as the offense's struggles and Marvin Harrison Jr.'s slow start. And then our guy Michael Wilson giving some good insight as well. So it's been a busy 2 days trying to, get some answers out of this. And it's an interrogation, right? And the Cardinals, I guess, key players and coaches alike, they're not talking, right? You're not going to get much from them, even though you're trying to crack a case as far as who done it in the underperforming offense. So where do you want to start here?
I want to start with public enemy suspect number one here in this court case. Let's get to Mr. Drew Petzing, Damon Dawg.
Yesterday, where I thought he came off the ball with some burst, got open down the field. Sometimes we could find him, sometimes we couldn't for a number of different reasons. But I was really pleased with just kind of the way he handled himself throughout the game. He's playing a lot of reps. I think he has a big impact on the defense in terms of the way we operate on offense. So was really pleased with that, a number of those things.
He hasn't had a big game since week 2 in terms of yards. What has he done? He's kind of touched on. What has he done to impact your offense and your defense besides catching the ball?
Yeah, I think certainly the coverages in terms of how they want to play him, what it sets up in the run game and some of the other things in the keeper game and the things that we want to do in those areas, I think are very real. Who they're going to put on him in man-to-man situations, how they're going to lean the post safety, different things like that have certainly showed up over these last couple games and allowed us to be effective in other areas.
I'm glad to hear because that echoes what Gannon told us yesterday, that Marvin Harrison Jr., when he's not involved in the play, isn't wide receiver 1 on it, is making an impact. But he needs to be making an impact with the ball in his hands. It's just like it's good to hear that he's been a good teammate and he's drawing coverages and being decoy Marv and all that. But I think it's a waste of talent if you're not getting him involved and trying to force feed him the football at times.
Wait a minute. So you're telling me that the best receiver prospect of our adult life that they took 4th overall should be playing more than just the decoy role in this offense? That's fascinating. And I appreciate Gannon's comments, but you can tell there's immense frustration that's happening behind closed doors. I'm going to just come out and say this has been an embarrassment. They are embarrassing themselves offensively every time they take the field because this looks so difficult. I'm embarrassed for them. Drew, I know you can scheme a run game. It looks great. The offensive line is performing well. You have a number 1 pick at quarterback. You have a plethora of weapons. Mina Kimes said yesterday the Chargers would kill for any of the Cardinals skill players, and the Cardinals cannot throw the football. Again, it looks like a high school offense. Like I'm sorry, Drew. What are we, 7 games into this? You got 10 games figured out, my guy. Because again, people are coming at me on Twitter, saying Michael Bidwell, he's not going to let the team spin, blah, 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 which is a crock of you-know-what. But here's what he will do. If the season's over and it's like, guys, what are we doing offensively? We can't throw the football to Michael? Larry Fitzgerald will get 1,300-yard seasons with Ryan Lindley and Drew Stanton. It'll be like, hey, JG, I love you. Like, we got to make a change here. So Drew Petzing has 10 games, and I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt. But if the Cardinals...
Are you?
Well, we're holding people accountable. This is an accountability show. This is a family show, but it's an accountability show. You and I are family, but I hold you accountable as well. That's what we do.
You have the old accountability board from the BA days, right? Where you got Drew Petzing up there. And look, it's I wouldn't say an embarrassment because I hear from the players. And what I heard from Kyler Murray.
But they're not calling the plays though, Bo.
They're not calling the plays, no doubt about it. But they're trying to play within the offense. And as I pointed out there, okay, Drew, no more Marv as the decoy. No more, if he is going to be doubled on the play and the touchdown pass to Greg Dortch, I'll accept that. It turns into 7 points. But Marv the decoy, a lot of this time, you scored 13, 14, 13, 17 points. You need to score more points. So even when you feel like you're doing yourself a service by not forcing it to Marv, overall, it's been a disservice, I think, because you're not utilizing the talent. So we hear from Kyler Murray. You want to hear him talk about just the offense overall or Marvin Harrison Jr. specifically?
No, let's stay on the subject of Marv.
I think when you are one of those guys, his mentality and his expectations of himself are always going to remain the same. Like that's nothing that I can do. Y'all anything that y'all write about, like that's not going to affect the way he feels like he should be playing the game or wants to play the game. But at the same time, no, I don't think we've even scratched the surface of what we can be. And I know it's frustrating for fans and it's frustrating for us too, because I want him to have 10 catches a game, 100 yards a game. Like we all want that, But again, it takes time, it takes work, and that's what we're striving to be great. And I believe we'll get there.
I hate this narrative. Oh, Kyler Murray can't get him the football. Like, have you guys been blind for 6 years? Like Kyler Murray with DeAndre Hopkins, Kyler Murray with AJ Green. They're beautiful deep ball. I like it. Kyler Murray can throw the football. This is not raggedy arm quarterbacks around the NFL that we have to watch week in and week out that cannot push the ball downfield. Like, go watch Brock Purdy last weekend. He couldn't push the ball downfield. They at least let him do that. They are not letting Kyler Murray air the ball out. And for whatever they have an offensive philosophy right now that everything is checked down below. Damon, let's see that graphic, by the way. This is from the Twitter streets earlier today, and it's pretty damning of the offensive coordinator. This is from Scott Barrett. Ignore what kind of synonym they use, or abbreviation, I should say.
Yeah.
Marvin Harrison Jr.
Acronym.
is top 6 in comeback route speed, crossing routes, and post routes. These routes, however, make up just 24.6% of Marvin's total routes run. Go routes, he is at the 5th worst, but it takes up almost a quarter of his total routes. Nowhere on here are we seeing the short check downs, the end arounds. They're not moving them around. I tweeted out a video today. Granted, it was, he's probably playing against insurance salesmen in the Big Ten or future ones. They have him do an end around, and he just glides in the end zone. I mean, there's creativity, right? And it's like, what's really frustrating about Drew Bo is, like, we've seen it before. He can be creative. Why aren't you being creative with your best player?
Are we sure that this is a legitimate stat? Are we sure?
No. It's that simple.
Is Scott would we take the bait and we're making Scott's day by breaking down the ASS?
He is he works in NFL analytics and fantasy football. He's got 103,000 followers. It's not like he sent that to me directly and is like, Johnny, I'm do this and I'm going to expose you. No, this guy studies this. The ASS report, week 7, ASS. He discussed the lack of production. Go check him out on Twitter. It's a real thing.
Yeah,
it's a common denominator. All the analytical people hate Drew Petzing right now. Everybody. They break down these games with the all 22, and they're like, Drew, you are hampering this wide receiver. Please stop. It's a football war crime right now.
I mean, the stats do add up to ASS. That's what it boils down to.
Come on.
We are, yeah.
Digital Death saying Bo always questions the data analytics. Absolutely. He just goes off of his gut, Yeah,
I'm a Manalytics guy. I'm gut feeling a Manalytics guy. That's all I am.
Can we hear from more people on Marv? I think we've got a good bite from Michael Wilson on the offense. Let's hear from part of the program, friend of the program, Michael Wilson.
Question. Definitely a little frustrated, but it's a long season. I know that it's going to get fixed at some point, and I think the dam will open up. I think all parties have to be better, and we have to find a way to come down with more contested catches and keep putting on tape that we are open. And I think just continue to trust the process and trust the coaching that it will get fixed and the chemistry will start to unfold.
It's just a really positive, nice guy.
Well, you've said this. He's a high level guy, right? Like, I don't think that. I think if that gives me confidence. What's giving me confidence, like coming off of last year, talking to Mike this offseason, how it's so important in this rhythm and timing offense to develop that rapport. And I know we're seeing them take a step back offensively from where they finished last year, but for him to remain confident that the dam will open up. And then there was another one clip that we don't have, but you can find it at PHNX_Cardinals on Twitter, where he's basically talking about Marv, and he's saying he's a rookie. This is a complex offense. And just like to echo Kyler Murray, it's going to take some time. Like, we all want the same thing. Everybody wants the same damn thing, from Kyler Murray to Drew Petzing to Michael Wilson, everybody in that room, to Paris Johnson, to the fantasy football owners, to the fans that spend their hard-earned money to watch this team, whether it's on streaming or at the game. They want Marvin Harrison Jr. to perform. They want this offense to get right. And, I think Wilson and Kyler, and they haven't really given us any reason to abandon ship just yet, that they're continuing to plug away, try to, get this thing on the right track.
This is a defensive team now, by the way. This is a meat and potatoes defensive team, especially when they get my guy Harold. We got more from JG and K1 right around the corner, as well as your super chats here on PHNX Cardinals. But first, let me tell you about a big-time event we got coming up here with PHNX Sports. Damon, Dawg, let's see it. It is the premier Desert Duel Golf Tournament taking place on November 2nd at the Ravens. Our friends from CHGO will be in town. I can't wait to talk all the grief to them as the Cardinals host the Chicago Bears, and diehards from both markets, guys, are going to be in attendance. Tee time is at 8:15 all the way to 10:45. And again, sign up now. The package includes, obviously, tee time card, lunch at the turn. You get a goodie bag. Again, tickets are available right now. GoPHNX.com/events. Join us right now for the Desert Duel. We've been talking smack to our friends at CHGO. They think they're going to come take over our town, our city, our stadium. Big no to that. Big yes to Big Drive Energy. Big thank you to our friends hosting this Desert Duel. We got it at the Raven Golf Club. Get your tickets now. We're going to put a link in the chat and in the description. We want to see you there on November 2nd, Bo.
Oh, man. Yeah, absolutely. You got to check that out. You should also check out some of our many great events going on. How about the PHNX Suns Valley Suns Takeover? Join the PHNX crew as they take over the Mullet on Monday, November 11th. They got the Valley Suns taking on the Stockton Kings. That's going to be huge. Great seats, section 101, rows 7 and 8. Immaculate vibes. You got tickets available now at gophnx.com/events. And of course, you got the watch party going on way before that. That's going on this Friday. Wild Horse Pass. Join them, Gila River Resorts and Casinos, Wild Horse Pass. You got the PHNX Suns live show, food and drink specials, PHNX giveaways, RSVP right now. gophnx.com/events.
Yeah, and big shout out to our guys at ALLCITY, the hockey podcast hosted by our boy Petey Blackburn and DJ Bean. Mostly hockey with a little bit of nonsense.
Oh, what chaos? Absolutely. Yeah, it's a great show for those trying to scratch that itch without the Yotes in town.
Big thanks to them. Big thanks to Craig Morgan at gophnx.com. Check out his most recent article. You got to be a diehard to read it. We are diehard for some more talk. Let's get to this bite, because I don't think we've gotten to it. The Monty JG bite in terms of exploring opportunities to upgrade the team. Now, I'm going to preface this, everybody, and I've said this before. The last move of substance from Monty Ossenford was back in May when he acquired Zay Jones on a one-year deal, and that has had middling returns, to say the least. So Monty Ossenford has essentially gone May, June, July, August, September, into October, almost 6 months of a substantive move to help the Cardinals for 2024. But this is the head coach, JG, on Monty's potential to add before the deadline.
Monty does everything that he can in his power to make our team better, so I trust in that. We're on the same plan of what's going on there. I'm excited about these guys that are going to get opportunities this week and moving forward.
I mean, that's the head coach, who has a lot of trust in his GM, and they understand what the plan is. It's been drafted and developed, but at the same time, they've faced a ton of adversity and obstacles in the form of injuries. We've pointed out, 4 of the players that you have on that defensive front 7 are lost for the season, and you haven't seen a 5th play a single snap in your 27th overall pick and Darius Robinson. It does need to put you more to kind of have a sense of urgency. And that was the question I had asked Gannon, how I'd kind of put it together. Is there more of a sense of urgency to explore every option, which would include a trade or whatever it may be, for them to go outside the organization and try to find some help at that, where it could be interior defensive line. It doesn't have to be specifically at the outside linebacker spot, but they they need help. They do. And I think that if you can do it without having to break the bank draft capital wise, that would serve this team very well.
I think we're going to see Xavier Thomas active on Sunday and maybe even Victor Dumakaji. We talked about JG's comments there. I mean, even if they made a move tomorrow, it'd be tough for a player to be up to speed, but maybe not. What's the latest with Darius Robinson? Because we know Christian Jones activated off of injured reserve today and put on the active roster. What's the latest with Darius Robinson? Everybody's waiting because the time's running out for him to be added.
Well, we got a little bit of a clue. We talked to Gannon today. Much like that answer, he's not going to give you too much. He's not going to divulge too much that could, impact the game on Sunday. There's some gamesmanship there. But he said today he was going to ramp up Darius Robinson. And we just got the most recent injury report, first of the week for the Cardinals and the Dolphins. And it was a walkthrough for the Cards today. So you didn't have a guy in Christian Jones, even though he was activated, he didn't participate in the walkthrough. Personal reasons was stated for that. And then you've got Roy Lopez did not practice or participate in the walkthrough with an ankle. That's something to monitor. Sean Murphy-Bunting did not practice with the neck. And then to get to Robinson, there's a little bit of a difference. So he was on there, obviously, because of the calf. And they've added to the report personal, because we all know, very public, that, D-Rob, unfortunately, had the tragic loss of his mother recently. I would imagine that maybe now he's not practicing to deal with the, obviously what's going on in his personal life.
So he did not practice today.
He did not.
So there's a possibility he's not with the team this week again. I mean, is that how
we'll see when they actually take, like tomorrow, as Gannon pointed out today, like tomorrow and Friday, they're going to be full go at practice. So that's going to be the big indicator as far as D-Rob.
Prayers up to D-Rob. I hope he's able to come back. And certainly when he's ready to come back. And I hope nobody's questioning his love of the game, because very few individuals have the highest of character like D-Rob. And so give him as much time as he needs. And the Cardinals, again, go out and make a move, help your team now until, the 27th overall pick is ready to rock and roll. We're ready to jump into these super chats, kicking off the show. How about our guy Don at $4.99? Bo, realistic best case scenario, Azeez Ojulari, dream case, Trayvon Walker, though not going to happen. I would be hard pressed. Like, Jacksonville's trying to salvage their season. Bulky's going to be fired. Doug Peterson's going to be fired. It's tough, at least with the Giants, I guess, though, same argument. So maybe I'm putting my foot in my mouth.
Yeah. Isn't it? It's still astounding that they took Trayvon Walker over Aiden Hutchinson.
Yeah. I just don't think that. I don't think at the end of the day, that he's just going to be available.
Ojulari is, that's my top pick. Christian, we got him $2. I'd give up wins for Marv's success in AZ. Hashtag fire Drew Petzing, FDP.
Wow. You knew what that hashtag stood for? I haven't seen that before. Is that catching on now?
Maybe it's not, maybe the F doesn't stand for fire. We got our guy Johan Dotson.
Yeah, welcome back, Johan.
$4.99. If they punt on the trade deadline and still consider this a rebuild, what is the expectation for next year? Don't think just making the playoffs would cut it.
It's a great point, Johan. And again, you're making my point day in and day out. Are you just dipping your toe in to be a 7-10 team this year? Because then everybody's under a microscope going into next year where it's playoff or bust. How about make the playoffs this year, get this team some experience in the postseason, and then you can have renewed expectations next year and say, hey, we've done it already. We know we can do it again. Why not grow the confidence of this team right now? And you don't have to break the bank to use it, to do it. But I think that's such a cop-out if they opt to do this. Exactly what you're saying. A lot of people feel like they are. Hey, we're just going to ride this out. I mean, and here's another factor, Bo, that you have to include. How much longer you want opposing fans to try to take over your stadium? Do you want to develop a home field advantage? What breeds that? Winning does. Rebuilds do not breed, sellout stadiums at State Farm Stadium of your own fan base. So, I mean, you help yourself by winning.
You can get big people back in the seats quicker than I think you you're thinking right now.
With a
this
7-10 season, okay.
7-10 season would, I mean, people would take that. Like, obviously, it's within the
would take that?
context of
Come
what
on.
it, huh?
Who would take
What?
that?
Why not?
So how many games are left? There's 10 games left. You're going to win 4 of 10. People would take that on this trajectory right now. Not only are you projected to have double-digit losses again, you're not showcasing the 4th overall pick. There's no fun involved.
That's what
with this
I mean. And I was saying with it, what it looks like, what 7-10 looks like.
Looks bad right now.
After you, everything looks bad. A win looks bad to you on Monday Night Football.
Well, come on, it was
fair.
rough.
It was a fair assessment on my part. Josh, who became a diehard yesterday. Love it, Josh. Going to the game Sunday, where can I meet y'all? Well, you can meet us at the tailgate. It's going to be elite. Join us. It includes food and beverage. We're going to be partying it up. The PHNX Cardinals road trip to Miami. Tailgate only. It's going down Sunday morning. Be there or be square. Josh, join the squad. You got to do it. It's required now. Now that you're going to the game, if you don't, I'm going to be extremely disappointed. So get it in there.
Same.
Check us out. We will have a blast. I'm fired up for this weekend. I'm fired up for hopefully a Cards dub. The 90s Poppy, $2. How realistic? Ooh, I missed that. Hang on one second. How realistic? We've lost it. Well, Damon, can you grab that back for me? That's my mistake. Marcus, $2. Bo, what's it like listening to JV spit facts daily? Great question, Marcus.
I honestly can't answer that because I haven't experienced it yet. Not one single fact that I am on board with.
Wow, that's hurtful. Cruz, there's 90s Poppy. How realistic is it to trade for Garrett or Crosby? I think 0%.
Yeah.
I think I don't even know
They're
if
war daddies. They absolutely are. They're going to command a ton in return.
And also, like the Cardinals, if that was like the missing piece, I'd say let's do it. Yeah. Cardinals, we've seen it. Like this defense, as Mina Kimes put, I don't think the Cardinals are rebuilding. I think the defense is rebuilding, as Mina said. Like, you need, how many pieces you need defensively? Like 4, at least 4 to 5 pieces, like half your defense. They're not a Myles Garrett away. Would he help? Absolutely. But I just feel like for this team right now, go and get a guy for a day 3 pick and then get to a point where you're signing and drafting players every offseason of note.
Absolutely. How about this one from Cruz 199? How do I get my free shirt? New diehard. That's a good question.
You should get an email, should get you a code to be able to check out at the merchandise locker through ALLCITY, and then it's plug and play, my friend. But message us after the show if you need some additional help. We got a great team here at PHNX Sports, but we'll get you that free diehard shirt, no problem.
Yeah. Of course, the conversation continues on for, we got our friends over at Samsung who we welcomed in today, which is fantastic. But we continue the conversation. Of course, you know where to find us. Baharo, $2. AJ Green, 2021, first 6 to 7 game production, greater than MHJ. Petzing. And AJ Green he's been in the league for years. I think there's an advantage. Washed. I know he was washed.
I'm ready to put 100% of this on the play calling. I don't know if I put any on Marv. Sorry. I know it's going to ruffle feathers. You're telling me the best receiver prospect of my adult life can't play football anymore? No, I've seen they have no passing game. It's the offensive coordinator. I don't want to dog on a human being who's got a family, and I don't want people to get fired. But if you can't do your job, listen, if I couldn't host this podcast to great success, they would get rid of me. It's as simple as that. Alex.
Hey, John, step into my office.
129. What game is Drew watching? Effective ? They've averaged 16 points per game. Thank you so much. Watch any other game of teams with less talent receivers or wide open. Look at the Chargers. Look at the team you just faced. Will Dissly. Will Dissly's corpse running around. Look at their receivers. Josh Palmer, Ladd McConkey, and it's schemed up beautifully. Chef's kiss. And then Marv, it's like he's got 6 guys hanging off of him. People are like, what's wrong with Marvin Harrison Jr.? Look on the sideline, friends. Look on the sideline. Jason,
a very generous $40. We love our guy Jason. Thank you so much. take this super chat and make the first round in Miami on me. Wish I could be with you. Let's go to 4-4. Jason, unreal.
You, sir, are a saint.
Absolutely is. You can bet that we will be spending that $40 wisely. $9 beer night in South Beach. First night with the boys.
PR Mac, $2. NFC West up for grabs. Play to win now. 100%. Quit screwing around and talking about 2025, 2026. How about hang a flipping banner in your stadium to represent this season with your $50 million quarterback? Go and win this division. You're somehow miraculously 2-0 in this division. Seattle is super fraudulent. You split with them and you sweep the Rams and go 4-2 in this division. It's yours. It's there for you to take, because I'm going to tell you right now, the Seahawks cannot beat San Francisco. And I think they're going to struggle against the Rams. Cardinals already took care of business. Go win games. You got Carolina, you got New England. I don't want to hear about 2025. That makes me physically sick.
Are we holding or folding today?
Yes, we are. Of course we are.
All right, let's get to this super chat real quick, and then let's hold and fold. English Gator, what would Myles Garrett cost?
How old is Myles? I mean, you're starting at a 1. He was the NFL Defensive Player of the Year last year. A lot of people thought he should have been the MVP. He's 28 years old. Probably 2 1s. Probably just like the standard 2 1s.
Monty's arm.
Yeah, mine would be like, we'll go find our own Myles Garrett in the draft. Okay.
They call him. Do they call English Gator that? They call him that in college. You went by Gator.
Hey, Gator.
Listen, that's the other guy's reference, not
that is, yeah. Like this video. It's time for my least favorite segment of the week, not because of the sponsor, but because of my horrendous record. Thankfully, we don't have to lump it in with my game predictions anymore, because I'm 2 for my last 2 on Cardinal game predictions. How about the rest of the league? Damon, let's check out the standings. Hold or fold the line. 7 straight losses for your boy. Bo Brock 1.5 up, and Damon Dawg leading the way 4.5 up. Now, again, Bet365 never ordinary. If you're new to this game, which I hope that you are, I pick gross dogs every week. I take somebody at least of plus 50 or worse. And so, yeah, we're slumming it, Ozzy. But you know what? This is the week I get off the schneid. My pick's a guarantee. It's a guarantee hit.
-7. We played 7 weeks and you're -7. Look at Damon. My God.
I've been cooking.
Up 4.8 units on the season.
I want some money bags in my eyes. I'm jealous of you guys.
Can't have that.
I mean, there's just almost a 0% chance of that at this point.
I'd have to win out.
What emoji? You get poop emoji for eyes for your -7 units.
I guess if Johnny keeps picking like huge dogs, if he can get like 2 or 3 in a row, he can't. But his pick today isn't a huge dog. Johnny, I know you looked at. Did you look at Panthers money line today? Did you see that?
No, what is that?
The Broncos are 10-point favorites against the Panthers.
Dalton didn't play. Bryce Young might play, and he might throw 7 interceptions.
Didn't they name him the starter today? Dalton got in a car accident today.
He's winning that game.
I'm surprised that line's not -20. Bryce Young is not an NFL player.
Are we sure that Bryce Young involved in the car accident? That he couldn't reach the brake in his car?
Man, that's terrible. Good thing we're off air with Samsung.
I think that's almost a certainty.
All right,
his little toe slipped off the brake, and he ran into Andy Dalton's car.
Baby toe. Let's see the picks. Hold or fold the line. I can't wait to see what -500 pick fraud Bo pick. Let's check this out here. All right, everybody's going plus money here.
Johnny, I haven't gone. I've gone plus money every week since week 1.
And I think I've done it every week since week 1, except for 1 other week. So 5 weeks I've gone plus money.
I hate how accurate Damon's pick is, and I just am debating on investing my 401k in it right now. Like that. Yeah. That is, I mean, Damon, break that down. I cannot believe that's only 1 plus 140.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and start it off. I don't care if people are mad at me about this. Bo and I were debating this for a while, and I was saying the chat's going to get mad at me. You know what? I'm not here to make friends. I'm just not.
Smart.
I'm here to make people money, and that's why I'm up 4.8 units right now. And if you guys like money, Tyreek Hill anytime touchdown at plus 140 is just honestly disrespectful. Tua's back. He scores basically every game that Tua plays. Plus 140 is gross. Invest in it.
I mean, he's got a lot of confidence. So we saw this today, Damon. It was Tyreek Hill. This is via David Furones, who covers the Dolphins. Tyreek Hill, just oozing confidence.
We're back, baby. Strike up the band. We're back, baby. Start me this week, baby. Let's go.
Yikes. Big time yikes. Arizona Cardinals are going to have to get some pressure on Tua. I don't know where we're going to get it. So I like it too. Plus 140. Like Tyreek Hill nearly been a lock to get to the end zone. It doesn't, take the Cardinals out of the realm of winning this football game. But I think it's a smart bet.
Yeah, it just that's a lock. I think we're all holding with Damon on that, correct? Yeah,
we are.
I'd love to be wrong.
Do we want to go with another one that we could potentially all hold together, or Johnny's pick?
Go ahead, Bo. You smart mouth.
I'm taking the Washington Commanders money line plus 125 at home, hosting the Bears. The Bears, who have benefited from playing nobody and beating up on nobody. They've got 3 consecutive wins over the poverty Rams, over the poverty Panthers, and the poverty Jaguars. Congratulations, Bears and their fans alike. You played yourselves. Commanders, I think, are more real than the Bears with their rookie quarterback. Now, that's the big thing here. I think you have the advantage of maybe not knowing whether or not Jaden Daniels will be available for this game. I think he will play at the end of the day. I got the Commanders taking down the Bears. Kami's at home. Give me they're 5-2. They're 3-0 at home this season. I think they continue to ride the wave. It's still October, so Cliffy still has that magic in his playbook. So give me the Commanders beating the Bears.
I'm folding this hard because I think Mariota plays. Even with Jaden, Chicago's defense is the real deal. Now, who knows? I think we know that the Commanders' defense is a little bit fraudulent. So I think this is a gross game. I think it's one of the grossest games on the schedule. I do think Chicago,
what are you talking about? It's 4-2 versus 5-2.
These are not aesthetically pleasing teams without Jaden Daniels. If Mariota versus Caleb, I don't think that's not a great watch.
Yeah, look, if Mariota plays, then my pick stinks. But
don't you think that line is reflecting Mariota playing though?
No.
You think they wouldn't be a favorite?
I think that the Commanders, I think that it probably just that's what this exercise is about. What I like today on Wednesday,
explain it to me.
Get in right now, because this is probably the best value you can get the Commanders at right before we get more days of practice, and Daniels will probably get out there in a limited capacity, and then the line's going to move.
Listen, I would love for you to be right because I would love the Bears. Yeah, I do, because you know what? The Bears, they think they're going to come into Phoenix next week and just run the show, and that makes me sick. And I actually think they're pretty fraudulent.
They're not really going to come in everybody. So many people moved away from Chicago because it's way more beautiful here in the Valley of the Sun.
100%,
and they're already going to be here.
I'm folding. Damon, are you holding or folding with Bo?
I love a good home dog. And I think if Jaden Daniels plays, the Commanders win this football game. So I'm gonna hold.
Pretty simple, Damon Dawg.
Did you hit last week?
I did.
Okay.
I had Russ and the Steelers over the Jets.
Pick of the week.
Easy, it was the easiest bet.
Here's the easiest bet of this week. Plus 180 right now. This is the lock. Everybody go bet it right now with our friends at Bet365. Use your free bets or your real money because it's hitting. Dallas Cowboys are going to beat the San Francisco 49ers. The Niners could not be more fraudulent. Brock Purdy, listen, I know the Cowboys have been bad. Everybody just hear me out. They go to Santa Clara, okay? There'll be plenty of Dallas Cowboy fans in Santa Clara. Micah Parsons, there's a chance that he plays. Deron Bland, there's a chance that he plays. I do not take this Niner team seriously. I mean, the Cardinals beat the Niners. Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb can beat the Niners by themselves. I think we get the best game of the year from Dallas. I think the Niners feel that There's no guarantee Debo plays, even if he does. He's had fluid in his lungs this week. No Brandon Ayuk. He's done for the year. Kittle's got an ankle. Like, I get it. Dallas has been fraudulent defensively, but like, I'm taking my chances. No McCaffrey. The Cowboys, they got a short shelf life this year, but they remember that playoff game last year. Like, go in there and get a dub. They play well in special teams. They were close to knocking off the Ravens earlier this year. I think Dak's going to step up for one singular primetime game, nationally televised. I think it's the game of the week. And he's going to beat Brock Purdy. I couldn't sell my stock harder on Brock Purdy right now. Brock Purdy, a.k.a. Jimmy Garoppolo reincarnated. Like, that's who he is. He's just a guy. What do you think? Did I talk you into it?
You taking the Dallas Cowboys money line.
Yep.
5-point dogs.
Don't the Niners like own the Cowboys?
There's that. Johnny is 0-7 this year as far as holding or folding the line in this.
Okay.
But I will hold with you this week. I will hold with Johnny based on do factor. And the Cowboys are actually really good on the road. As bad as they've been at home, which they're 0-3 at home. They're 3-0 on the road. They need this, like they need air. It's a kind of a meaningless game, for the most part. It's not a playoff game. Like if it was a playoff game,
right,
probably would not say the Cowboys are going to win. But I think that in week 8 of the 2024 NFL season, like they can win on Sunday Night Football over the Niners. I will hold with you.
I knew we were brothers.
I like the value. Plus 180 is pretty solid, but ultimately, I think the Niners win this football game.
Who's scoring points, Damon?
Juwan Jennings. Welcome to the show.
Oh my God.
He's questionable.
Pretty Ricky Pearsall. Ever heard of him?
Oh my God. Damon, I don't know if you know this.
Jacob going to have a career day.
Had a
Damon,
big catch last week.
He did.
Did you know Ricky Pearsall was shot earlier this year before the season started? That's their go-to receiver this week. The guy.
What a remarkable story on Sunday Night Football for the entire nation to watch.
I'm so glad he's okay, but this is the NFL, man. Like you lost Debo and Ayuk, and Kittle can barely move, and there's no McCaffrey. If the Cowboys lose to Ricky Pearsall, who's in a hospital bed 2 months ago, and the kid from Arizona on day 3 of the draft, and Juwan Jennings, you need to fire Mike McCarthy before he gets on the bus to leave the stadium. Get him out of here.
I don't mind the value. I genuinely think the value on that is pretty solid, but I'm going to go ahead and fold and say the Niners win that football game.
Listen, I don't love the Cowboys' weapons outside of CeeDee Lamb. Don't get me wrong. Like Zeke's, 300 pounds. Like I don't love a lot of what I don't like Dallas, but Brock Purdy is so fraudulent. If Micah Parsons plays, I hope he just destroys Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
I need
Brock
the
Purdy was that analytical stat we looked at today. That's what he's been all season long.
Yeah.
The ASS.
I'll be taking all of CD's overs though. I think CD goes off in that game.
I mean, I think if you're folding, you're folding Mike McCarthy versus Kyle Shanahan, and that I won't fault you for. But the players on the field, Dallas has better players than San Francisco this week. Like Brock Purdy can't throw passes to Trent Williams. It doesn't work like that. Plus, the Niners defense is not very good. They lost Ufunga. Obviously, there's no defensive lineman to speak of. They lost Kinlaw. The other linebacker opposite Fred Warner, he's out for the year. Tore his Achilles in the Super Bowl.
Who put his hands on Trey McBride. It was cool. It was all cool with the league.
Great. Like
he also put his hands on Big Dom, so he's cool with me.
Right.
Here's why I need it to happen too. We have the trifecta. We're going to break it down all week en route to Miami.
Mm-hmm.
We need the Minnesota Vikings to officially end the Rams season tomorrow, which I believe they will on Thursday Night Football. Goodbye. We need the Cowboys to put the Niners in a 3-5 hole and really embarrass Purdy in the process. And then Seattle this week plays Buffalo. Buffalo is going to demolish the Seattle Seahawks. And then here come the Cardinals, ho-hum. They win a game in Miami. They're 4-4, and they're leading the NFC West. I've never needed it more.
The Cowboys are giving up 143.2 rushing yards per game. It is 6th worst in the league. I think the Niners just run the football down their throat.
Let's not focus on that.
Is that mostly at home, though? Aren't those performances where they've just been awful at home?
They beat the Steelers. Remember they beat the Steelers?
I took them.
Justin
Hold or
Fields?
fold in that one, and you folded me, Johnny.
That was a mistake. We've made mistakes. This is a fresh start. Everybody liked this video, by the way. subscribe here on the YouTube streets. And we're fired up, man. We got so much good stuff going on right now. I'm going to plug this again. If you have not become a diehard at $4 a month, like, what are you doing? We got almost 1,000 people watching live. Tell them your boys from PHNX Cardinals sent you. Pick up a free piece of merch. You can't buy a number 18 jersey yet, but you can sure as hell shop the number 18 collection, and you can get one of these shirts for free for the price of on the house. All you got to do is become a diehard. It's $48 for the year. It's $4 a month. One of these fabulous shirts is at your doorstep, ready for you to rock at State Farm Stadium. We need to will Marvin Harrison Jr. beyond Drew Petzing. We're going to do it with the number 18 collection with your friends at PHNX Cardinals. Go PHNX.com. Become a diehard. You get everything unlocked. Craig Morgan, unlocked. Gerald Bourguet, unlocked. Jesse Freeman, unlocked. Get it all right now. And then I think the coup de grace, the best part is hanging out in the member Discord. And speaking of the Discord, Bo, we're en route to Miami on Friday. Behind the scenes footage from our entire trip around the clock. Ask our friends at the NFL Combine during the Discord what we dropped in there, as well as in the 999 challenge back in June. You do not want to miss this. If you become a diehard, tag us on Twitter, immediate retweet, immediate follow from the Beat account. Become a diehard right now. Go PHNX.com. You will not be sorry. I promise that you did.
No doubt about it. I mean, the infamous Johnny Steak incident that went down in the Discord. You guys were in the know about that, long before everybody else. The roast it's 24/7, and people are just roasting each other all day long in the Discord. It's fun. It's the best Cardinals community around. You can't beat it. The only way to access it is at the low price, $4 a month. Yeah, $48 for the year. Become a diehard today. We are so pumped about it that they were able to slash the prices on this thing and give you access for nothing, for what it costs to make a trip to Chick-fil-A and get your kid a meal.
Like this video, subscribe to PHNX Sports here on YouTube. We got Brian Baldinger Manana. We're breaking down this game. Miami hosting the Arizona Cardinals. Will Darius Robinson play? Will Monty Ossenford make a trade between now and tomorrow? Will he feel that sense of urgency, Bo, after the moves from the fraudulent first place Seattle Seahawks? All that and more. Like and drop a comment down below. Big thanks to everybody. Big thanks to our newest partners at Samsung.
That's right.
Big thanks to Bo Brack.
Absolutely. And when we're talking about dropping a comment, maybe put in, we only hit 5 names we think the Arizona Cardinals should kick around for trade. Drop who you think the Cardinals should be maybe targeting on the trade market in the comments. It does wonders for us. Appreciate you all. Thank you for tuning in to the latest edition of PHNX Cardinals. Talk to you. Do we need this one? Is Jason just dropping this in? Yeah. Can we get a shirt with a picture of Johnny's face on it and the words respectfully? And then he just tears that poor soul apart as he normally does.
Only if everybody promised to buy it. Because if it became a basement dweller, then it would be my fault. And then you wouldn't see me around. So it would have to be an instant sellout.
I would rent that.
We would only make 5 of them. For Bo Brack, Damon, Dawg, I'm Johnny Venerable. We'll see you on Thursday.
We all silly like the mayor.